Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Lipman, and I got a job offer for you if you're interested. And I just want to go over this with you. And even though I know you're going to be reading this yourself, I figured I'd just do a recording of it so you can get a sense of my vibe, my personality. See if if you can see yourself working with me. It is important that we're looking for a person who can see themselves doing this role for 5 years or beyond. So we are looking for a long-term solution and not simply something that's fleeting. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this job description. It's pretty much basically what you're going to have in front of you, but we're calling this administrative assistant office integrator operations. It's kind of the title. I don't know, titles are kind of bullshit in my opinion, but for the people that like titles, there you go. That's the title. So basically, this person is primarily operations focused. Whether you want to call administrative assistant or operations office manager, I don't know, whatever you like to call it, but this is what it is. And we try to be specific so that way you get an idea. You're going to be answering phone calls, directing phone calls, collecting money. You're going to be preparing lots of emails, lots of PDFs, lots of faxes, lots of mailings. You're going to call clients like real people. You're going to call government agencies. You're going to give updates to people. You're going to be depositing checks, mailing out stuff, picking up stuff. You're going to be creating invoices and applying payments. You're going to direct workflow to people. You're going to help prioritize work to people. Handle and distribute all incoming and email to clients. I don't know about that one. That'll be a little bit down the road. Booking, excuse me, book internal staff appointments. Basically, so once there's an established work, you kind of help actually schedule people's workloads. In a way, it helps focus people. You'll help and create engagement letters and how to sign them up through DocuSign. Onboarding clients, lots of lists. There's lots of lists here, lots of lists. Deadline management, that's very critical. We do not blow deadlines. You cannot blow a deadline. That's a fireable offense because the client will be very pissed at us. We are very deadline focused. So you in turn need to be a very deadline oriented person. You're also the gatekeeper of negative emotions, vampires, and time sucks. You need to keep all those people away. A lot of times there's stories and stories behind people calling. And when you're talking to me, I don't need the story. I just need what do I do and when and how and why. You got to keep, give me the juice. I don't need the whole story. But you do need to be the gatekeeper and, it is absorbing stuff. Ordering office supplies. Let's see, uploading documents. Document management is a really big deal. Uploading document management, keeping client notes, that's a big deal. Deal with client billing issues. We don't have too many of those, but they do happen. Write emails, that happens a lot. Replying to emails, that happens all the time. Okay, so the requirements. And what I have found is that I try not to prejudge you as the person, because I find out that so just to let you know, I've been doing this about 23 years, and I have worked with hundreds of people. And through that time, through the hiring and firing and rehiring and all that kind of stuff, and working with people at various levels, we don't want to limit people, because what we find is that a smart person can be trained and idiots can't be trained. So we try not to put too many you had to have gone to college or had to have done certain things, because in some cases that's not necessary, especially in this type of role. But what you do need to have is intelligence. What you do need to have is ability, like raw ability. We'll test that. I'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the requirements. So a lot of these are just kind of more personality related. You have to be a finisher who obsesses over details. So again, they're starters and they're finishers. We're not looking for a starter. We're not looking for the person with initiative We're looking for the finisher, the closer. Like you'd be the ninth inning pitcher, you know what I'm saying? Or the fourth quarter. You're very task driven and you don't need to be micromanaged. I am not, I don't enjoy managing people. I hate it. So you need to kind of be that person. Prior administrative assistant is helpful, but what I find is that this position is a type of person. You take personal responsibility for your actions. I hate people that blame everybody else for everything. It's just, I hate it. Take responsibility for your stuff. That being said, I'm always empathetic for a situation. But the first thing to always say is, what did I do? How did I do it? What could have I done better? Excellent time management skills and your ability to prioritize work is important. Obviously, what I find is that people who've had more experience in life tend to get better at this stuff. But again, sometimes people can get it, without it. Attention to detail, strong organizational skills. That's kind of a bullshit statement now that I think about it. I don't know what the hell that means. Positive and supportive manner, willing to work and learn from others. Yeah, that's important. You have to have just an optimistic kind of frame of mind. A quick learner, we'll be able to assess that. Good memory for details. That is critical. That is critical. That is critical. You have to have a good memory for things. And what I like to say is I have a shitty memory for certain things when it comes to my family, which is kind of ironic. But when it comes to my clients and the case management, like I remember these weird details. You're going to have that kind of ability too. You're going to need to direct people in a gentle manner. So there'll even be times when you're going to be talking to me, like I'm like the guy, right? And you're going to be like, Adam, you need to do this. And then I'll say, but I don't want to do it. I'm tired. And then you're going to say, look, you have a deadline and you need to get it done. We need to get this out for the client. And then I'll say, okay. But it's a sensitive role because you need to have a sense, and we will empower you to kind of say, like, to direct me and everybody, because again, that's your role, is to direct people on when to do things, and we want that, but you have to be in a gentle manner. Emotional ability to deal with angry clients. Some people can handle it, some people can't handle it. You have to be the type of person who can handle upset clients. Granted, this doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen, and you have to know how to deal with that. We will train you on stuff of this nature. Technology friendly. We are highly remote. We use lots of programs. You're going to be using a lot of technology. You just have to do this. If you don't like computers, don't apply. Consider yourself like the house mom, dad of a fraternity. If you know what this means, you know what this means. You're going to have to keep track of your time on a quarter-hour basis. Actually, that's every 6th of a minute. Actually, that actually should be updated. Ability to learn tax lingo. Education level is not important to me. I've found extraordinary people without formal education, all the way people who've got multiple degrees and masters. Again, this is a type of person who can do repetitive tasks consistently with excellence time and time again. We will give you training. So a lot of we've tried to do videos. So we've pre-recorded a lot of videos for the tasks that are very redundant. You will be working with me on a lot of training stuff. And I do want you to know that, like, in the tax world is the breadth of what we do is wide. So what I like to say is, like, it takes a good year to learn all the things and see all the things that we do, all the permutations of what we do. So there's definitely a steep learning curve for a while. And it's very common for people not even be very familiar with everything until maybe like a year to 2 years into it. So for example, it's not like In-N-Out Burger where they teach you like 30 different ways to make a hamburger, and then within 2 weeks, like, you've mastered it. Or like at Starbucks, maybe the learning curve is a couple of weeks where different orders per se, and then you've mastered it. Or not mastered, that's not the right word, but you've seen every combination. Taxes does not work like that. Partially because it's a year thing, it's cyclical, certain things happen at certain times, and that's just the way it goes. But we will train you. But I want you to know, to just be aware of that there will be training. Here's the next step of what to do. You're going to email Adam at Adam Libman. In the subject line, you're going to paste, "I'm your new office integrator." And in the body of the email, you're going to paste your resume. So copy and paste. And then you're also going to attach your resume as a PDF. Believe it or not, and I know this sounds really crazy, this alone is going to weed out a lot of people, because a lot of people are not going to follow these instructions, which is always so crazy, because people go through the effort of like, they'll like do something a little different, or they'll give a Word doc or like some other doc. Anyway, it just doesn't happen. It's always amazing to me. Anyway, this is the first, are you paying attention? So don't mess this up, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a sort function on my emails, and everybody, I'm going to look for that certain criteria. This is the, and then I'm basically going to look like, did you follow this? And everybody who gets this will get an invite to the next round. And then the next round is just, talking. And then after that would be like what the next part after that is where what we'll do is I've got pre-recorded videos with tasks, and then basically I'm going to have you try to duplicate those same tasks, just watching the videos, and we're going to time it. So it's an issue of accuracy and speed. And what I found is that's just a really good way to measure ability quickly and easily. This is a full-time job. This is mostly remote. We will provide the equipment. Pay is anywhere between 15 to 30 an hour. This is full-time. There is 3 weeks of vacation. Fridays in June and July are paid off. There is paid holidays. So that's kind of that part. And then who we are is basically what do we do, right? Maybe we should have started out with that. Is we're a tax firm. We are primarily located in California and Arcadia, but I also am now in Utah as well, working in Utah. You're going to be based out of the Utah area. Well, actually, that's not necessarily true. Well, we'll see how it goes. But you can be either in California or in Utah. And if you're in California, you'd be in the Arcadia, Pasadena area. If you're in Utah, you'd be in the Huracan, Washington, St. George area. And what we do is we help people with their taxes, their tax planning. That's what we do. Hopefully this little video gives you a little sense about me, and you can get some vibe from me. And I do this so that way you can help self-select. I know that there's a certain group of people that are looking for a job, and I'm always sympathetic to people who are looking for a job, but we're looking for a person who's like not looking just to pay rent this month, but can you be with this guy for 5 years? Like, ask yourself, do you want to be with me for 5 years? Like, I think even if I were to ask my wife that question, geez, can you know what I mean? That's like that's a lot of commitment right there. But I want you to have that mentality. Can you see yourself doing this day in and day out for 5 years? I want you to have that mentality, that long-term commitment idea. We're not looking for a person who's like, some seasonal person, but rather a long-term thing where there's a real relationship and it's actually worth investing. Because from my perspective, because tax is a little bit complicated, because there's a lot going on, we don't really see the true value, or I don't see the true value in you until years 2.5, 3. That's where I actually get to see a lot of ROI, and I get to breathe a lot easier. So hopefully, again, the purpose of this is just for you to get a sense of me. I mean, obviously, I know you're going to read the words and you'll probably Google me, and hopefully most of the stuff is relatively nice. But again, we're not looking for thousands. We're not looking for hundreds. Ultimately, it's one person. Hopefully, that one person is you if it's the right fit. Okay, I'm going to stop recording this and go for the next thing.